Hello, I'm Dr. Kathleen Walls of Dr. Walls and Friends on the Emoja Communications Network on the beautiful island of St. Lucia, and I'm honored to be sitting here with the laureate, Nobel laureate himself, Derek Walcott. How are you doing today, sir? We are honored that you are taking this time to sit with us. And so I wanted to introduce you to our audience in Philadelphia as well as overseas. Many people in the literary world already know who you are. But for those who don't know who you are, I wanted to talk a little about your journey as a writer. And so can you tell us about when did writing start to emerge inside of you?
I'm very, very young. My father used to write. My mother was a school teacher. So that's how it's been.
Mm-hmm. And what genre would you say spoke to you the most? We know you've done a lot of poetry.
Really? Yeah, poetry. And later on plays.
Yes. Yes. So your journey as a writer, would you say you started as a poet, but then you moved into plays? And what was that like to transition from seeing your work on paper to now seeing it being performed in front of you?
Well, I'm talking about a very early age of working on the stage with obviously amateur actors, young schoolboys, schoolgirls. But I started very early. My father used to write. My mother taught, so that my experience was very physical and early. Mm-hmm. But it was both, I used both media, if you want, both poetry and verse. My plays are in verse in most cases.
Okay.
So that's obviously a form of poetry, the form of poetry. So to me it's not necessarily a big change in media.
Okay. Okay. And now, coming from St. Lucia, you were born in Castries, correct? How would you say that had influenced your writing early on?
Well, you write about where you come from, so I wrote a lot about St. Lucia, especially the countryside, and the mythologies of countryside.
Yes, yes. But you've also been influenced now with your mother being a teacher. I'm sure she brought a wealth of reading material from other places as well, such as William Shakespeare and other writers. Or who are some of the other writers who you would say have influenced you?
Everybody. I did a lot of reading. And when Caribbean literature began, it was exciting to have these writers coming out.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. I remember watching an interview many years back, and Oprah Winfrey talked about reading and how she loved it because the characters were created on paper, but then how they looked, she visualized them in her own mind. And with your writing, would you say that it was to create images for people or to allow people to expand their own imagination?
Well, the people I wrote about was St. Lucians, so there'd be a lot of recognition through laughter or whatever. People hearing their language being spoken.
Yes.
Certain words sounded funny. Breadfruit was a funny word. To people, when the names of things came out onto stage with recognition, the delight of recognition was in the acting.
Okay, okay. And then as your writing career continued in 1992, you end up winning the Nobel. What was your response to winning that award?
The Nobel.
To become the Nobel Prize.
When it happened, it was a great thing. But I was treated very well by St. Lucia. There was a big thing in the square, which was rained out, and later it had to move into the cathedral, which is next door.
Oh, really?
But what I remember of the experience, which I've told over and over, we speak a French Creole here,
Yes.
and it rained that day. And I remember a guy in the rain bicycling around the square saying in Creole, "Massa Saye me mon content." I don't know what it is, but I'm happy.
Was that- You know, I think many times we work very hard in our professions, and when we get recognized to that level, it's not, I don't know, I'll ask you. Were you working all along? Did you expect to get recognized on that world stage like that for your writing?
No. I mean, St. Lucia. But the level of teaching was very high, I think, especially at the colleges.
Mm-hmm.
So I think the goal was manifest in itself, you know, to be the best, to read the best stuff, and
Yes.
write the best stuff.
Yes, yes, I agree, I agree. And so that you continued on, and you opened up several theater companies?
No, I had one company started, the St. Lucia Arts Guild.
Okay,
My brother later continued,
yes,
and in Trinidad Theater Workshop,
yes.
and in Boston Playwrights Theater,
Mm-hmm.
or wherever I could find. I started the theater company.
And how did that come about?
Well, the people that are around you, you recognize have the same intentions and, you know, ambition. So you'll find people anywhere you go who want to be on stage and not for any, just for the privilege and joy of acting.
Yes. Wonderful, wonderful. So now, many times people who are artistic, whether it's in writing, sometimes they find themselves being artistic in other areas as well. Where else have you seen? So you went from poetry into plays. Where else have the arts taken you?
And I've done a lot of painting, as you can see around here.
Yes.
There was a lot.
And when did you know, when did the painting, was that something that started early on, or is it
Yeah, my
something?
father used to draw too. He was an artist,
Oh, really?
very good artist.
Okay. So you're really a blend of your mother and your father.
Aren't we all?
Yes. We are, and how it manifests many times is very interesting.
Right.
Yes. So are you still writing now?
So writing?
Still writing? Yes.
Well, why should I stop?
I agree.
Yes, of course.
And do you have any plans of putting out any more published works anytime soon?
Well, I just had a collected poems published. And the play too. So it depends on when it's ready, when I hand it out to a publisher.
Okay. And we had the honor to be able to watch Poetry is an Island at the PITON Film Festival yesterday.
Yeah.
And it was wonderful to learn so much more about you. And we encourage people to buy a copy of Poetry is an Island so that they can find more out about you. And also to get your works, your collection of works. So we thank you so much for taking this time with us today.
Okay,
It is an honor.
thank you.
All right. And we will see you again on Dr. Walls and Friends.